Kids who sung on Kids Bop. How was that experience? And did you ever put that on a resume? I'm loosely related to the creator of Kids Bop. For what it's worth, I think it's an abomination. The current top reply to this thread is a scathing indictment of them. You may enjoy the read. Removed. 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 I wrote a full comment before seeing this one. I was in the first commercial and we didn't get a cent. Removed. Do it. Fuck people like that. Removed. What was really hyped up but ended up sucking? Google Plus. It was supposed to be the next big social media explosion. Was supposed to do to Facebook what Facebook did to Friendster and MySpace. I vividly remember people discussing how they were gonna migrate and leave FB forever. Few years later, and my Google Plus account is pretty much my auto login tool for phone apps. It was such a good concept. Put your friends in groups. Only share certain content with certain groups. The stuff you want to share with your friends isn't the same as the stuff you want to share with your co-workers/family. For some reason it just didn't work. I'd like to see someone try again though. It was technically fine, but everyone uses Facebook because everyone's on Facebook. A few friends and I started using it, but I didn't want to deal with both. I think Google trying to force people to create a Google Plus account to use YouTube left a very bad taste in everyone's mouths. I remember quite a lot of people being annoyed and put off by that. Segway scooters. They were massively hyped as a new form of transportation that would change the way cities are structured. They wound up being great for more security and an occasional guided tour of someplace touristy. Honestly, I've tried one, and they were super fun. If I lived in a congested city with lots of bike lanes, I would get one. However, I'm not spending $2K on one, because I can't use it as a primary method of transportation. Google Glasses. Third TVS. Did anyone ever use the full screen, split screen mode? That seems pretty awesome. December 21st, 2012. Still here. Midnight on New Year's Eve 1999/2000 was the other big dumb apocalypse. Just digital. Connie 2012. FeedFest. Historians of Reddit. What is the strangest chain of events you have studied? A Chinese man wanted to create a potion to become immortal. Instead he accidentally created gunpowder and made fireworks, and he made rockets. A different kind of immortality, I suppose. The events that led and culminated in the War of the Bucket for sure. Essentially one Italian state who followed Holy Roman Emperor stole a bucket from another Italian state who followed the Pope. War broke out. The papal state highly outnumbered the HRE state, but HRE state won. Then stole another bucket. Was a trip for sure when I learned about this one. The bucket is on display in a museum in one of the cities involved. Medina citizen here. I saw the bucket. Suck it, Bologna. Also, not a museum, but the city's Gothic bell tower. British officers in India in the 18th century were eating quinine powder to help treat malaria. Quinine is so bitter on its own, so they started putting it in their club soda to make easier to down. They invented tonic water, brought the water back to Europe, and they started putting it in their gin. Hence, gin and tonic. This goes a little further. The use of tonic water spread throughout the empire as an anti-malarial. The gin was added to make the tonic both more tasty and also because Victorians drank like cray cray. The takeaway is, the gin is the mixer. The tonic is a deliverable substance being diluted. Now there's a switch from every other cocktail. Horses evolved in North America, spread during prehistorical times into Asia, and then later went extinct in North America. If things had been only slightly different, horses could have been native only to the Americas, or just completely extinct by prehistory. Not having horses would have made a huge difference to Asian and European history. No Mongol invasions, no European knights. They would have had to learn to ride pigs instead. That would have been amazing. Battle bears. Old Tihan KS. Genghis Khan riding in with his army of 30 to 50 mounted hogs. What is similar to finding out that Santa isn't real, but for adults? Some professions die. Just because you were a good travel agent or fax repairman doesn't mean you can be one forever. I hope the whole influencer thing dies. Influencers have always existed, and this is just the newest form of it. They'll probably be one of the last careers to die, just renaming over the years ad nauseam. I think that's only going to grow. Fear sort of the new TV commercial. Acne doesn't go away after teenage years. Oh hell yeah, just turned 27 and have a pizza chin right now. Retirement is not an age. It is a financial state. The sad reality of my late 50s life. Yup. It's not automatic, you gotta plan for it. But hey, now that I know, I can work towards it better. Fortunately, nothing can interfere with my retirement plan of having a fatal heart attack at work, sometime around age 76. My coworkers will chant songs of glory as they carry me out on my desk. Edit. Thank you strangers for providing 3 silvers to pay the ferryman. Discovering that good friends you thought would always stick together drift apart over time, sometimes never to be heard from again. One day will be the last time you hang out, and you won't know that until much later. Learning that Santa is real and you're him. What should teenagers know about being an adult? That what you post on social media has consequences. Be smart about it. Don't post things you wouldn't want an employer or your mom to see. Remember kids, nothing is truly private online. This is advice that teens should be telling adults. Make sure you know how to cook a few decent meals. Saving up is better than credit. If you have credit, don't go past 30% of your total limit and pay it off in full every month. Bankruptcy is easy, but stays with you for years. Keep cash on hand for emergencies. Water is your friend. Drink lots. Also, never lend money and never co-sign for anyone. Oh, and never use rent to buy stores. You'll end up paying at least twice what the item is worth. Interestingly enough, the current crop of teenagers do tend to prefer saving over credit/debt. That we don't know everything, and neither do you. You may think it's lame to stay at home on the weekends now, but buddy, in 10 to 15 years, fuck yeah, staying in on a Saturday night to watch The Sopranos is the shit. I haven't left my house for 24 hours and I'm just glowing because of it. As a teenager, I never once thought staying in is lame. I don't think anything can change my mind really. Your peers give a fuck about what you do, no matter what Reddit says to the contrary. The way to get ahead is through loose connections. Hey, we got an opening at my firm. I'll put in a good word for you. If you're an introvert who keeps the nose to the grindstone and doesn't interact, your life will be immeasurably more difficult. It's 100% okay to go into a trade instead of going to college. Shit, you probably will make more coming out of a trade school in 2 years than most people make after going to a 4-year university. Nobody outside of maybe your family and or 1 or 2 very special friends gives an actual shit about you, and you have to make things work for yourself. What did not age well? There's a scene in the movie Baby Driver where Kevin Spacey's character says, "I was blinded by the balls on that kid." Try watching American Beauty. It's about Kevin Spacey trying to have sex with an underage schoolgirl while his neighbor suspects he's having gay relations with the neighbor's son. The shame is that it's an incredibly well written and actualized movie. If you can get past Kevin Spacey, it will be one of the best movies you'll ever watch. TBH, I still enjoy all movies with Kevin Spacey. Most Cosby movies and shows, generally, family-friendly works tend to turn creepy after you learn one or more of the main characters was played by a sex offender. The one I think is weird is Seventh Heaven. Lead actor admits to being a child molester and the show still airs in syndication. I believe certain stations still run Cosby episodes. I think it's odd to pull shows because of one cast member. All it's doing is fucking over the other people that worked on that show. I'm watching Jimmy Neutron for the first time in 15 years and holy crap, this show is a lot cooler when you're a kid. Can we talk about how wild that show was though? Remember that episode when Carl got pregnant in the ass with an alien baby? Remember when that the CG was good? Rewatching Glee for the first time and most of the things Puck says are now so dark/ironic considering the charges against the actor. My bag. The University of Iowa's online student portal used to be called ISIS. Now changed to My UI. Good call. The first few seasons of Archer also have the main character working for a secretive intelligence agency called ISIS. They didn't even quite have 5 years before that idea started to sound really awkward.